Top 5 Times the Royals Lied to Us, 2020. Over a half year after the occasion, the royal family a week ago uncovered Prince William tried positive to COVID in April. It was kept hidden to try not to caution the country. It's not the first run-through the royal residence has selected to keep things inside the imperial family secretive, despite the fact that the reasons contrast constantly. Number 5 Diana threw herself downstairs while pregnant with Prince William. English columnist Andrew Morton talked with Diana for her 1992 History Diana, her true story on the state of classification on explicit points. Numerous years after the fact after her demise, the disclosure that she hurled herself down steps while pregnant with Prince William was distributed in records of the meeting tapes. The occurrence happened while Diana was 4 months pregnant with William in 1982. She revealed to Morton that she was so edgy for her significant other Charles' consideration that she depended on this consideration looking for strategy. She knew at the time that Charles was having an unlawful illicit relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles and consequently was battling with sorrow. I had disclosed to Charles the first felt so edgy and I was sobbing hysterically, Diana said in the Chronicles. I had disclosed to Charles the first felt so edgy and I was sobbing hysterically. Diana was wounded from the occurrence, yet she said she realized she wasn't going to lose the infant. Number 4 King Edward VIII was a Nazi sympathizer. Edward VIII, who was Queen Elizabeth II's uncle, had one of the most brief reigning rulers in British history, adding up to only 326 days in 1936 as king, because of his need to wed a separated from lady, which at the time was severe untouchable for an imperial. Anyway, after his renouncement in 1937 he visited Germany. In the event that you know your set of experiences, at the time Germany was a Nazi state under Adolf Hitler's standard, so such an outing was pretty uncommon. He made the excursion against the exhortation of the British government and met with Hitler, which made news in Germany. It's important he made the visit with regards to the ascent of communism in Eastern Europe, so he considered Germany to be a lesser evil at that point, which history will censure. A lot of insight concerning Edward's relationship with Hitler turned out in 2015 in the previously mentioned Morton's book 17 Carnations, The Royals, the Nazis and the Biggest Cover-Up Ever. The book defined the various pressures and supper dates among the mystery kinship and how Britain attempted to cover everything up. It is additionally asserted that Hitler had arranged, if Germany won the battle, to re-establish Edward as king of an extremist Britain. Number 3 Princess Anne's husband's love child. Ruler Charles' sister Princess Anne wedded English Olympic equestrian gold decoration champ Commander Mark Phillips in 1973. The couple were hitched for just about 20 years and have 2 youngsters together. Anyway, it wasn't uncovered at first that during their marriage Phillips had a hurl with a New Zealand craftsmanship educator New Zealander Heather Tonkin. Tonkin really brought forth a young lady, Felicity, in 1985. Eventually the undertaking and potential parenthood got out openly as Anne looked for a separation. Phillips was consistently trying to claim ignorance about his love child as well. During a paternity suit in 1991, the court requested Phillips go through a DNA test which affirmed he was indeed the dad. It's accepted that the pair met while riding in New Zealand and had a single-night rendezvous. Phillips needed her to have a fetus removal, however she won't. He subtly paid kid uphold, accepted to be around $12,000 per year, yet had no contribution in Felicity's life. Tonkin, who unveiled the circumstance, stated, "I am doing what I am accomplishing for my youngster. I trust and implore Mark will make the best decision and make a legitimate and lawfully restricting settlement on her." Number 2 King George and Queen Mary's son had epilepsy. Ruler George and Queen Mary ruled from 1910 to 1936, yet during that period they stayed discreet. Their most youthful child Prince John created epilepsy at a youthful age, and as his condition crumbled he was covered up at the family home. It's said he was rejected from family photographs, and at whatever point he made a trip to London to see his PCPs the blinds were drawn. He was avoided significant occasions, similar to his folks' royal celebration, however that was for well-being reasons. There was likewise some worry that John had indications of chemical imbalance and he was esteemed to not be adequate to the rest of the world. Anyway, it wasn't until he was around 11 years of age that the royals selected to keep him out of the public eye. Cases he was covered up at an early age are off base. John endured seizures and they just declined with time. Unfortunately, he died mature just 13 out of 1919. Simply after his passing did the imperial family uncover to the public that John had been engaging epilepsy. Number 1 Prince Andrew's friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Sovereign Andrew's connections with indicted sex wrongdoer Jeffrey Epstein are well and genuinely open these days, however, that just a brief time after the lender's violations. The outrage prompted Andrew, who is the third offspring of Queen Elizabeth II, leaving all open functions as a feature of the illustrious family in late 2019. Epstein was first explored in 2005 and sentenced in 2008, serving 13 months in authority, yet it raised in mid-2019 when he was captured again on government charges for sex stealing of minors, before he kicked the bucket in his phone per month later. It's gotten Epstein and Andrew met no later than 1999, presented by the previous ex Ghislaine Maxwell. Notwithstanding being imprisoned in 2008, Andrew kept up his companionship with Epstein and the pair were shot together in 2010. There was a photograph spilled in the press with Andrew and Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who was a casualty of Epstein's, prompting him being recognized in a Florida court looking into the issue. Andrew was never charged for any violations, yet his associations with Epstein were a PR bad dream for the castle. Like, share, subscribe.